Welcome back, distinguished observers of the human condition and connoisseurs of the narratives that lie hidden beneath the gilded surface of stardom, to the hallowed halls of Mr. Magazine. You have once again entered the only sanctuary in the digital realm where a rumor is treated with the gravity of historical fact, and where the silence between two superstars is interpreted as a deafening shout. We are the premier destination for those who understand that in the intricate, often treacherous world of entertainment, what is seen on the screen is merely a shadow of the complex reality playing out behind the velvet curtain. Today, we are opening a dossier that has long gathered dust in the archives of speculation, a story that has recently been dragged back into the unforgiving light of public scrutiny. We are turning our discerning lens toward the captivating, yet allegedly strategically complicated, romance between Gökberk Yıldırım and Cemre Arda. We are about to embark on an analytical journey through the minefield where genuine human emotion clashes with the cold calculus of career management. But before we peel back the layers of this fascinating dynamic, I must ask for a moment of your esteemed patronage. If you value the depth, the elegance, and the fearless pursuit of the unvarnished truth that defines our storytelling here, please ensure you have pressed that subscribe button. It is your key to the inner sanctum of celebrity analysis. For those among you who wish to walk the red carpet of elite content and support the artistry of our deep dives, the join button is waiting for your click. It is the mark of a true insider who wants more than just surface-level gossip. Your likes and profound comments are the ink with which we write history, so please, let your voice be heard in the discussion below. Now, let us examine the machinery trying to control a heartbeat. A persistent rumor, one that has circulated through the exclusive salons of gossip circles like a relentless specter for what feels like an eternity, has recently resurfaced with renewed vigor, bringing with it a fresh wave of intense discussion regarding the true nature of the bond between Gökberk Yıldırım and Cemre Arda. It is a widely held belief in the shadowy corners of the industry that behind the seemingly flawless, fairy tale image presented by Gökberk and Cemre, who were once heralded as one of the most magnetic and talked about on-screen couples of their generation, captivating legions of fans with their undeniable harmony and palpable energy, lies a dynamic that is starkly different from the celluloid dream they sold the world. They are the canvas upon which fans painted their ideal romance, but the reality, it seems, was far more impressionistic and troubled. At the very epicenter of this complex, hidden dynamic, according to persistent and well-sourced whispers, sits a figure of immense influence, Gökberk's long-term agent, the architect of his public persona and the gatekeeper to his professional ascent. The narrative that has been constructed over years of speculation posits that the initial stages of Gökberk and Cemre's relationship were defined not by spontaneous passion, but by a calculated attempt at erasure. It is claimed that Gökberk, under strict advisement, made a Herculean effort to keep his burgeoning love as hermetically sealed as possible, treating it as a state secret rather than a source of joy. His notable avoidance of being photographed together in the candid moments on set, his prolonged, almost conspicuous silence on social media regarding shared photographs that would have sent fans into a frenzy, and his consistent reluctance to provide clear, unambiguous answers to direct questions about his personal life all contributed to an atmosphere of manufactured mystery. The veterans of the gossip circles commented at the time, and reiterate now, that this profound caution was not so much a personal inclination toward privacy on Gökberk's part, but rather the direct result of a strategic professional blueprint. According to these pervasive rumors, his manager, a person deeply invested in maximizing Gökberk's marketability, had explicitly requested that he keep his private life shrouded in secrecy for an indefinite period. The specific advocacy was for a highly controlled, sanitized image, a necessary precursor, they argued, to securing lucrative international projects and high-end brand deals that require a blank slate onto which global audiences can project their fantasies. However, as history and literature have taught us repeatedly, love is a chaotic force, no matter how meticulously planned, how strategically contained, or how professionally managed, it rarely remains obediently under control. It is like trying to hold water in one's hands, eventually, it seeps through the fingers. The inherent closeness, the lingering glances that lasted a fraction of a second too long, and the undeniable, vibrating intimacy between Gökberk and Cemre on set soon attracted the attention of those trained to look beyond the script. The fans, transformed into digital forensic investigators, began to interpret the smallest details with immense significance, constructing a narrative of romance from the crumbs dropped by the couple. Simultaneous social media posts from identical, undisclosed locations, photographs featuring the same background decor, and hushed meetings with mutual friends generated a tidal wave of commentary along the lines of, "This relationship is too large to stay a secret." The pressure became unsustainable. In fact, the evidence became so overwhelming that Gökberk and Cemre soon stopped completely denying these rumors, moving from a stance of absolute negation to a quiet, acknowledged reality, and their love began to be discussed openly in the public square, much to the alleged chagrin of the powers that be. This brings us to a profound ethical question regarding the machinery of modern fame. We must ask ourselves, to what extent should a management team have autonomy over the personal happiness of their client? Is the charismatic bachelor image a necessary evil for achieving international stardom, or is it an archaic concept that forces actors into emotionally stunted lives? We are incredibly curious to hear your philosophy on the balance between professional ambition and personal freedom. Please, share your profound thoughts in the comments section below. We read every single theory and perspective. And if you believe that true talent should shine regardless of relationship status, show your support by hitting that like button right now. Let the algorithm know that authenticity matters more than a curated facade. Right at that moment, just as the public was accepting this new reality, a fresh piece of intelligence hit the gossip world with the impact of a bombshell, recalibrating everything we thought we knew. According to deeply embedded rumors, the very same manager who initially wanted to keep the relationship completely under wraps had shifted tactics. Having realized total secrecy was impossible, they decided to keep it under strict damage control. But gradually, a new, more insidious worry began to fester in the management camp, the fear that this romance, now public, could actively sabotage Gökberk's carefully laid professional plans. Whispers circulated furiously behind the scenes that the intense, obsessive attention surrounding his connection with Cemre could harm Gökberk's prospects for major international projects. The fear was that his image as a desirable, available, charismatic bachelor actor, a crucial commodity in the global heartthrob market, would be irrevocably tarnished by a serious commitment. Therefore, it was claimed that Gökberk was once again pulled back. He was asked to keep his private life even more private than before and was even strongly advised to be extremely cautious about taking the relationship to a serious, permanent level. The management allegedly wanted the romance to remain an ambiguous fling in the public eye, not a defining partnership. The most talked about and explosive rumor lately suggests that things have gone much further than simple caution. According to the most plugged-in gossip circles, the very idea of Gökberk marrying Cemre has caused absolute panic and great unease in his agent. Claims suggest that while Gökberk personally is open to the idea of marriage and settling down, taking that monumental step during one of the most critical, formative periods of his career is considered professional suicide by his advisory team. Some seasoned gossip columnists even suggest that this external pressure creates significant, recurring tension between the couple, leaving Gökberk constantly torn between his genuine love for Cemre and his perceived professional responsibilities and loyalty to the team that built him. Of course, we must emphasize that all of this is currently in the realm of intense rumor circulating behind the scenes. Neither Gökberk nor his representative have made any clear, definitive statements confirming or denying these complex allegations. Cemre, for her part, maintains her characteristic dignity. As always, she prefers to keep her private life truly private, refusing to engage with the circus. However, according to information allegedly leaked from her protective inner circle, Cemre's stance is one of refreshing authenticity. She wants to experience her relationship naturally, organically, free from the suffocating weight of external pressures and strategic calculations. She is reportedly unwilling to let such a fundamentally important human decision as marriage be influenced by third parties holding spreadsheets and career roadmaps. All these rumors reignite the eternal question of why the love between Gökberk and Cemre has sometimes appeared to have such dramatic ups and downs. While the age-old dilemma of love versus career is a classic trope of the gossip world, it is said that the balance in their specific story is precarious in the extreme. Rumors circulate that even the most basic romantic decisions, a holiday, a shared post, a public appearance, are carefully considered within a rigid professional context due to the overwhelming influence of agents on actors, combined with deep-seated concerns about image maintenance and international ambitions. We are deep into the analysis of this modern-day tragedy of fame and restriction. If you are enjoying this breakdown of the invisible forces shaping the lives of your favorite stars, please make sure you have joined the Mr. Magazine family by subscribing. We pride ourselves on decoding the stories that others are afraid to touch. Also, I implore you to check out the Join button below this video. Doing so allows you to support our channel directly and ensures we can continue to bring you these high-fidelity narratives, free from outside influence. Do you think Gökberk will eventually choose his heart over his management's advice? Let us know your predictions in the comments. There is no confirmed fact in this saga, only a swirling vortex of highly discussed rumors. However, one thing is absolutely certain. The romance between Gökberk and Cemre has transcended the simple narrative of a relationship between two famous actors. It has become one of the most striking, illustrative examples in the world of gossip about the incredibly thin, often blurry line separating power dynamics, high-stakes career plans, and the inherent messiness of private life. It remains to be seen whether these rumors will be clarified by the protagonists or simply grow in intensity and complexity in the coming days. These behind-the-scenes rumors seem to intensify over time, rather than fade, and curiosity about what is truly transpiring behind the closed doors of Gökberk and Cemre's romance is growing exponentially. Especially in recent months, the couple's noticeably fewer public appearances, their significantly less frequent social media interactions, and their increasingly evasive answers in interviews have once again raised the burning question of whether the pressure has finally become too much. The rumors suggest that this newly imposed distance is not accidental or a sign of organic cooling, but a conscious, strategic decision forced upon them. According to these persistent rumors, Gökberk is caught in an agonizing bind. He wants to openly express his deep feelings for Cemre, to shout it from the rooftops, while simultaneously trying to strike a delicate, almost impossible balance so as not to jeopardize a career built over many years of sacrifice and hard work. The biggest challenge in achieving this balance is said to be the relentless guidance of his agent. Gökberk's manager has been known to play a pivotal, almost parental role in Gökberk's career, ensuring he takes the right steps at the precise right time with the right projects. However, precisely for this reason, it is frequently rumored in gossip circles that decisions about his private life are also filtered through this same rigorous professional lens, much to his personal detriment. Some insiders have claimed that Gökberk experienced serious internal conflict and emotional turmoil when the specific topic of marriage between him and Cemre arose as a concrete possibility. Cemre is said to have taken a more direct, emotional, and human approach to the situation, leaving Gökberk grappling with the existential question, should it be now, embracing the present, or should we wait a little longer for a better time that may never come? It is suggested that his agent's relentless insistence on the right timing, which always seems to be in the distant future, heavily influenced his hesitation. In particular, it is claimed that pending international projects, the launch of new image campaigns, and the overarching goals of global recognition were explicitly presented as hindrances to such an important, life-altering step as marriage. Meanwhile, Cemre is said to be inhabiting a completely different psychological space. According to information allegedly leaked from her supportive inner circle, Cemre is done with the games. She is not interested in hiding, shrinking, or postponing her love to suit someone else's agenda. She is said to have long sought stability, peace, and genuine connection in her life and has firmly found this feeling in her relationship with Gökberk. Therefore, the idea that the sacred space of their relationship is being polluted and influenced by the cold business plans of others sometimes hurts and profoundly tires Cemre. Rumors circulating in the most reliable gossip columns suggest that Cemre is now acting with a definitive "it's either true, or it's nothing" attitude, demanding authenticity over strategy. These rumors have also generated significant commentary on Gökberk's recent public mood. Some astute columnists point out that Gökberk has presented a more reflective, subdued, and cautious profile in recent interviews, and that he deliberately, almost clumsily, avoids any questions that veer too close to his private life. This change in demeanor is widely interpreted by industry watchers as the visible symptom of a man being caught in a vice between his vibrant love life and his demanding career. His fans, on the other hand, are sharing countless messages of support on social media, arguing passionately that Gökberk should listen to his heart and break free from the constraints of management, regardless of the professional cost. As we conclude this deep dive into the hidden tensions of a high-profile romance, we are left not with answers, but with a profound appreciation for the difficulties of maintaining a human connection under the inhuman glare of the spotlight. The story of Gökberk and Cemre is a modern parable of the choices stardom demands. We at Mr. Magazine will remain vigilant, watching the shadows and listening to the whispers, ready to bring you the next chapter in this ongoing saga of love and ambition. Thank you for joining us in the archives today. If this detailed analysis resonated with your understanding of the celebrity world, please do not forget to like this video, share it with your fellow truth seekers, and ensure your subscription is active. Until next time, remember that the most compelling stories are often the ones that are trying hardest not to be told. This is Mr. Magazine, signing off. Goodbye.